Before you spend another dollar at Harbor Freight, let me save you from the purchases that feel smart in the store but feel dumb in the garage. Some of the cheapest tools there do not cost money, they cost time, and time hurts more. Here's the kicker, even Harbor Freight employees will not touch certain products. So before you walk in for just one thing and walk out with 5, let's talk about the ones you will regret. And one of these, it is something almost everyone buys. Cheap tape, electrical plus painter's tape. Quick question, have you ever saved $3 and then spent 20 minutes fixing the mistake? That's Harbor Freight tape in one sentence. We all grab it at checkout. It's cheap, it's tape, but tape is what you use when you're already tired and the job is almost done. That's when it betrays you. It doesn't stick. It's weird. It peels in days, and when you remove it, you get sticky gum residue from hell. Cheap tape is fine for temporary stuff, marking wires, quick holds. But for clean edges or long-term use, bet the extra $3. Your sanity is worth it. 2. Bargain AA and AAA batteries. Let me ask you this. Would you trust $2 worth of battery to power the one flashlight you need in an emergency? Exactly. Yes, they work. No, they do not last, and they do not fade. They just die instantly. Fine for kids' toys, but for flashlights, measuring tools, remotes, anything you rely on, nope. Nothing ruins your mood like a flashlight dying right when you need it. Section 3. Warrior drill bits. Here's the real cost of cheap drill bits. It is not the bit. It is the momentum. And once momentum dies, the project dies with it. Big set, low price, looks like a win. Until you drill. They do not always break. They break halfway through the hole. Now you are digging a snapped tip out of the material instead of making progress. Okay, for softwood and light use, but metal or serious work? Skip it. Buy fewer bits, buy better bits. Number 4, cheap cut-off wheels. A whole pack for cheap, tempting. Problem 1. They wear down ridiculously fast. You swap discs constantly, and your workflow is destroyed. Problem 2, confidence. When something is spinning that fast, inches from your face, hit or miss is not a vibe. Rough cuts on rusty junk? Sure. Clean cuts or real work, don't cheap out. Number 5, budget measuring tools. This next one is dangerous because it does not fail loudly. It fails quietly, and you do not notice until it is too late. This one is sneaky. A bad measuring tool does not scream at you. It does not break. It just measures slightly wrong, and you do not find out until the end when nothing fits and you are recutting everything. As a backup, fine. For precision work, do not gamble. Quick reality check, I am not saying Harbor Freight is bad. Some of their tools are incredible value. The problem is mismatch. Cheap tool, wrong job. 6, super cheap Allen and hex key sets. Stripping a screw isn't expensive. Fixing a strip screw is. Huge difference. It's just an L-shaped piece of metal. That's what everyone thinks. Until the metal is soft and it starts rounding screws, then your 5-minute job becomes a 30-minute rage session. Okay, for light furniture and non-critical stuff. But important fasteners, avoid the cheapest sets. 7 lowest tier ratchets. Now this one's controversial, and if you've owned one that lasted 20 years, congrats. But consistency is the issue here. Controversial, but real. Inconsistency, some last for years, some start slipping early. And the worst part isn't breaking. It is that tiny slip, mid-tighten, that makes you go, did that just slip? Once you stop trusting a ratchet, your whole job feels sketchy. As a trunk backup, fine. For daily use, not the bottom tier. 8, cheap sandpaper. It looks like a bargain until it stops sanding after 5 minutes. It still looks like a full sheet, but it's basically smooth paper. It's great for rough stripping jobs, terrible for finishing. If the final look matters, don't skimp here. Quick pause. If you've bought one of these and instantly knew I was right, hit like. If yours worked perfectly for years, comment it. I want to hear it. 9. Cheap plastic clamps, they feel good. They click. They look like the expensive ones. But during glue ups, they loosen, they shift, they almost hold. And almost is how you get crooked seams. They are fine as a temporary third hand, not for precision clamping. Name brand stuff in Harbor Freight. Here's a trap. You see WD-40, Meguiar's, whatever, and you assume it's cheaper because you're in Harbor Freight. Sometimes it's the same price. Sometimes it's actually more than Walmart, Home Depot, or Amazon. Convenience is fine, but if you're stocking up, compare prices. And in a minute, we're talking about the one item you should never feel uncertain about. Section 11, extended warranties on cheap items. The register asks, do you want the warranty? Sounds smart. Until you realize you are tracking paperwork for a $9 tool. Sometimes the warranty costs more in hassle than the tool is worth. Big expensive equipment? Maybe. Small cheap items? Usually no. 12. Cheapest floor jacks. Let us talk about the one tool you should never feel unsure about. If you are under a car and you find yourself asking, is this stable? That is already a problem. They sell like crazy because they look solid and cost less. The issue is not usually a dramatic failure. It is the creepy feeling after a few uses, a little wobble, a slight drop, and suddenly you are thinking, is this going to hold? If you crawl under cars often, this is not where you save money. 13 tiny cheap air compressors. This one won't hurt you. It'll just slowly drain your patience until you question all your life decisions. They're compact and cheap and easy buy, but they're slow. They struggle to maintain pressure, and your job becomes do a little wait. Fine for topping off tires occasionally. Frustrating for anything consistent. Here's the bottom line. Harbor Freight isn't the problem. Expectations are. Buy the right tool for the right job, and it's incredible. Buy the wrong tool for the wrong job, and you'll pay for it in frustration. Harbor Freight is not bad. Harbor Freight has items that only make sense in the right lane. If you've had great luck with any of these, drop it in the comments. Different shops, different uses, different results. If this video saves you from even one regret purchase, it already paid for itself. That's a win. Subscribe if you like learning from other people's mistakes instead of making your own. See you in the next one.